Motivation is an important factor in everyday life. Our basic behaviors and feelings are affected by our inner drive to succeed over life's challenges while we set goals for ourselves. Hello, my dear students. I'm teacher Riza Bulacan, and I will be the discussant about Module 20. I need you to apply the preview, question, read, reflect, recite, and review or PQ4R. And now, let's begin. Theories on factors affecting motivation.
In this module, challenge yourself to attain the following learning outcomes. Explain to a learning partner the following theories on the sources of intrinsic motivation: attribution theory, self-efficacy theory, self-determination and self-regulation theory, goal theory, choice theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Together with a learning partner, cite the implications of these theories to the facilitations of learning. Attribution theory. What is the attribution theory? This theory explains that we attribute our successes or failures or other events to several factors. For instance, you attribute your popularity to your popular parents or to your own sterling academic performance. Or you attribute the poor economic conditions you are in to the land reform of the Philippine government or to the vices of your father. Attribution theory is important for organizations because it can help managers understand some of the causes of employee behavior and can assist employees in their understanding their thinking about their own behaviors. This attribution differ from one another in three ways. The first attribution is locus, or place, internal versus external. If your student traces his good grade to his ability and to his handwork, he attributes his good grade to internal factors. If your student, however, claims that his good grade is due to the effective teaching of his teacher or to adequate library facilities, he attributes his good grades to factors external to himself. The locus of an attribution is the location of the source of success or failure. If you attribute a top score on a test to your ability or to having studied hard, then the locus is internal, that is, being smart and studying are factors within you. Second attribution is stability, stable versus unstable. If you attribute your poor performance to what you have inherited from your parents, then you are attributing the cause of your performance to something stable, something that cannot change because it is in your genes. If you attribute it to excessive watching of TV, then you are claiming that your poor eyesight is caused by an unstable factor, something that can change. Stability is defined as the consistency of the relationship between the causal factor and the outcome of the behavior. Both ability and task difficulty are considered to be relative to a stable relationship between the causal factor and the behavior over time. Third attribution is controllability, controllable versus uncontrollable. If your student claims his poor academic performance is due to his teacher's ineffective teaching strategy, he attributes his poor performance to a factor beyond his control. If, however, your student admits that his poor class performance is due to his poor study habits and low motivation, he attributes the event to factors which are very much within his control. If a behavior is controllable, then the individual has the capability to influence the outcome of a task or behavior. Whereas, if a behavior is uncontrollable, the individual has limited or no capability to influence the outcome of the task or behavior. How does attribution affect motivation? If your student attributes his or her success or failure to something within him or her and therefore is within his or her control, or to something unstable and therefore can be changed, he or she is more likely to be motivated. If, however, your student traces his or her success to something outside him or her and therefore beyond his or her control, she or he is likely to be less motivated. Motivation tends to increase when students attribute failure to lack of effort because effort can be controlled. It tends to decrease when students attribute failure to uncontrollable cause. Table 1. Relationships among the dimensions of attributions. In first column, the attributions, second column, the locus or location of cause, the third column, stability of cause, the fourth column is control of learning situation. Ability, inside the learner, stable that cannot change, and learner out of control. Effort, inside the learner, unstable, can change, learner in control. Lack, outside the learner, unstable, can change, learner out of control. And task difficulty, outside the learner, stable that cannot change, and learner out of control. The next theory is self-efficacy theory. A sense of high self-efficacy means a high sense of competence. Self-efficacy is the belief that one has the necessary capabilities to perform a task, fulfill role expectations, or meet a challenging situation successfully. When your students believe that they have the ability to perform learning activities successfully, they are more likely to be intrinsically motivated to do such learning activities. The secret, therefore, to enhancing intrinsic motivation is enhancing our students' sense of self-efficacy. Believes that self-efficacy also involves determinations and perseverance, seeing as how it helps one overcome obstacles that would interfere with utilizing those innate abilities to achieve goals. Psychologist Albert Bandura has defined self-efficacy as people's belief in their capabilities to exercise control over their own functioning and over events that affect their lives. Self-efficacy enhancing strategies. Make sure students master the basic skills. Mastery of the basic skills like reading, writing, arithmetic will enable the child to tackle higher level activities. Imagine how miserable it for a student who has not mastered the basic skills, unable to perform higher level learning tasks that require display and use of basic skills. Your students will feel he is failure in his school life. Second, help them make noticeable progress on difficult tasks. You like to give up climbing a mountain when you feel that you are not making progress at all. When you have spent hours on a difficult task and you seem not to be progressing, you are made to think that your efforts were leading you nowhere and you want to give up. Third, communicate confidence in students' abilities through words and actions. Express confidence that your students, with all their abilities, can easily tackle the learning task. Words like, if you were able to do a more difficult task yesterday, what you are asked to do today is much easier than of yesterday. Fourth, expose them to successful peers. Being with successful peers, your students will inhale success and get energized to succeed as well. Success is infectious in the same way that failure is also contagious.
Other recommendations from motivation theorists are: first, provide competence promoting feedback. Communicate to your students that they can do the job, they have the ability to succeed. Second, promote mastery on challenging tasks. Don't give your students extremely difficult nor extremely easy tasks. If the task you give is extremely easy, they do not get challenged and you do not draw the best from them. If it is extremely difficult, they get frustrated. Third, promote self-comparison rather than comparison with others. Desiderata says, if you compare yourself with others, you will become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser person than yourself. Fourth, be sure errors occur within an overall context of success. Armrod 2004, there will always be errors or mistakes as we learn, as we go through life, but they cease to be mistakes once we learn from them. But if it is all errors that come one after another without a taste of success, chances are your students will feel so down that they are robbed of the courage to proceed.
The learning process requires the challenge of new and different experiences, the trying of the unknown, and therefore necessarily must involve the making of mistakes. In order for people to learn, they need the opportunity to explore new situations and ideas without being penalized or punished, or mistakes which are integral to the activity of learning, by Ortigas, 1990. Process of learning helps in achieving the objectives of teaching. With learning, we expect a change in the behavior of the individuals. This change happens with the development of the knowledge, insight, interest, skills, and attitudes. Table 2. The influence of self-efficacy on motivation. We have the high self-efficacy learners and low self-efficacy learners. In task orientations, accept challenging tasks, avoid challenging tasks. Effort, expend high effort when faced with challenging tasks. Expend low effort when faced with challenging tasks. And persistence, persist when goals are not initially reached. Give up when goals are not initially reached. Beliefs, believe they will succeed. Control stress and anxiety when goals are met. Believe they are in control of their environment. Focus on feelings of incompetence. Experience anxiety and depression when goals are not met. Believe they are not in control of their environment. Strategy use, discard unproductive strategies. Persist with unproductive strategies. Performance, perform higher than low efficacy students of equal ability. Perform higher than high efficacy students of equal ability.
Self-determination and self-regulation theories. Students are intrinsically motivated when they have a sense self-determination, when they believe that they have some choice and control regarding things they do and the directions their lives take. A student's sense of self-determination is demonstrated in his capacity for self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to a person, I am the captain of my soul, type of person. He is not a victim of circumstances, he is capable of directing himself. Self-determination theory suggests that people are motivated to grow and change by three innate and universal psychological needs. This theory suggests that people are able to become self-determined when their needs for competence, connections, and autonomy are fulfilled. What are indicators of self-regulation? They are the abilities to set standards for oneself, monitor and evaluate one's own behavior against such standards, and impose consequences of oneself for one's successes or failures. Armrod 2004.
So we have a question, how does self-regulation relate to motivation? The answer would be, a student who is capable of self-regulation is more likely to be more intrinsically motivated because he sets his goals and standards, he monitors his progress, and evaluates his own performance. And also, a student who is capable of self-regulation is not only capable of regulating his behavior, but he is also capable of regulating his own learning. Omrod 2004 cites the following processes involved in self-regulated learning. First, goal setting. Self-regulated learners know what they want to accomplish when they read or study. Second, planning. Self-regulated learners determine ahead of how best to use the time they have available for learning. Third, attention control. Self-regulated learners try to focus their attention on the subject matter at hand and clear their minds of distracting thoughts and emotions. Fourth, application of learning strategies. Self-regulated learners choose different learning strategies depending on the specific goal they want to accomplish. Fifth, self-monitoring. Self-regulated learners continually monitor their progress toward their goals and they change their learning strategies or modify their goals if necessary. Sixth, self-evaluation. Self-regulated learners determine whether what they have learned is sufficient for the goals they have set. A student who has self-determination and self-regulation is more likely to be intrinsically motivated and so is more capable of self-regulated learning. Here are some suggestions from motivation theorists to enhance students' sense of self-determination about school activities and assignments. First, present rules and instructions in an informational manner rather than controlling manner. Examples on how to present rules in informational manner: we can make sure everyone has an equal chance to speak and be heard if we listen without interrupting and if we raise our hands when we want to contribute to the discussion. Second, provide opportunities for students to make choices. A particular lesson objective can be reached by the use of varied strategies. Students will be more likely to be intrinsically motivated to attain the objective when they are given the freedom to choose how to attain it, of course, within the set parameters. Third, evaluate students' performance in a non-controlling fashion. Communicate evaluation results to inform your students of their progress without passing judgment of some sort, but to make them see that they are strong in some points but not so in other terms. Choice theory. The choice theory is a biological theory that suggests that we are born with specific needs that we are genetically instructed to satisfy. All of our behavior represent our best attempt at any moment to satisfy our basic needs or genetic instructions. This was written by Bob Sullo, 2007. Applying choice theory allows one to take responsibility for one's own life at the same time. Withdraw from attempting to direct others people's decisions in lives. Individuals are empowered to take responsibility for their choices and support others in taking ownership of their choices. In addition to the physical need for survival, we have 4 basic psychological needs that must be satisfied to be emotionally healthy. First, belonging or connecting. The need for belonging or connecting motivates us to develop relationships and cooperate with others. Without the need for belonging and cooperating, we would only strive to be independent. Second, power or competence. The need for power is more than just a drive to dominate. Power is gained through competence, achievement, and mastery. Our genetic instruction is to achieve, master new skills, and to be recognized for our accomplishments. Third, freedom. As humans, we are also motivated to be free to choose. Having choices is part of what it means to be human, and one reason our species has been able to evolve, adapt, and thrive. Fourth, fun. Each time we learn something new, we are having fun. Another universal human motivator, it is our playfulness and our sense of discovery that allow us to learn as much as we do. What do this imply to our task to facilitate learning? We have to come up with a need-satisfying environment to motivate our students for learning. We should satisfy their need to belong, their need to have power by being competent, the need to have a free choice, and the need to enjoy learning and have fun. How can this be done? If we create a sense of community in the classroom and make every student feel classroom community, he or she will more likely love to go to school. If we make use of cooperative learning structures, we strengthen the spirit of cooperation and collaboration and reduce, if not eliminated, the spirit of cutthroat competition. Remember that to satisfy our students' need for power, let us help them acquire it by making them achieve, by making them master their lessons, and end up very competent. As a result of their competence and excellent achievement, they get recognized and experience genuine power. Second, let us teach our students that the source of authentic power is competence, not bullying and other irresponsible behaviors. This way, they will learn the true road to real power. Third, to motivate our students for learning, let us give them ample freedom to choose within parameters that are safe and responsible, developmentally appropriate, and supportive of learning, for that it is the ultimate purpose of freedom. To help our students learn and grow into the responsible persons they are called to be. When our students are made to feel that they have a lot of free choices, they are driven to satisfy this need for freedom. According to Glasser 1990, claims fun is the genetic payoff for learning. A joyless classroom does not motivate students to perform. Let's have fun more while we teach. Without our knowing, our students are learning and mastering what we are teaching while we are having fun. Fun is a universal human motivator. If our students' need for fun is satisfied, they are most likely to learn much. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A student's lower order needs must first be met before she or he works for the satisfaction of his or her higher order needs. Maslow subsequently extended the idea to include his observations of humans' innate curiosity. It used to study how humans intrinsically partake in behavioral motivation. Maslow's hierarchy of needs 5-stage model includes: the lower order needs include first-level needs and second-level needs. The first-level needs are basic survival and sociological needs for food, air, water, warmth, rest, or sleep. The second-level needs are bodily safety needs and economic security. There are 3 levels in the higher order needs. The first, which is now the 3rd level in Maslow's need hierarchy, is the belongingness and love need, including the intimate relationships and friends. The needs at the 4th level include those for esteem needs, including prestige, one's feeling of self-worth, and of competence. The 5th level need is self-actualization, which means becoming all that one is capable of becoming, using one's skills to the fullest and stretching talents to the maximum, achieving one's full potential, including creative and activities.
Always remember, first, for us teachers, this means that we cannot teach students with hungry stomachs. We cannot teach students when they feel afraid and insecure. While it is not our obligation to feed them, working with parents, the school nurse, and all others who can help can address the problem of students' hunger, lack of sleep, and the like. Second, our students' need for love and belonging is satisfied in a class where they feel they belong and are accepted regardless of their academic standing in class, economic status, or ethnic background. Their need for self-esteem is satisfied when we help them succeed, recognize their effort and contribution no matter how insignificant, and praise their achievement. Goal theory states that goal setting is essentially linked to past performance. It states that specific and challenging goals, along with appropriate feedback, contribute to higher and better task performance. Goal theory is an overall approach to motivation that emphasizes the needs to establish goals as intrinsic motivation. Learning goals versus performance goals. The goals we set for ourselves affect our level of motivation. There are several types of goals. In relation to learning, we can speak of learning goals and performance goals. How do they differ? A learning goal is a desire to acquire additional knowledge or master new skills, while a performance goal is a desire to look good and receive favorable judgment from others, or else look bad and receive unfavorable judgments. The student with a learning goal is mastery focused, while the student with a performance goal is focused in performance. Table 3. Comparison of mastery focus and performance focus classroom. Success defined as mastery improvement, high grades, doing better than others. Value placed on effort improvement, high grades, demonstration of high ability. Reasons for satisfaction, meeting challenges, hard work, doing better than others, success with minimum effort. Teacher-oriented towards student learning, student performance, views of errors, a normal part of learning, a basis for concern and anxiety. Reasons for effort, increased understanding, high grades, doing better than others, ability view as incremental, alterable, an entity, fixed. Reason for assessment, measures progress toward preset criteria, provide feedback, determine grades compared to students one another. Goal setting as a motivational tool. Goal setting is effective when the following major elements are present. First, goal acceptance is the agreement to achieve a defined goal. It does not determine the long-term effort you will put. Second, specificity refers to the extent to which an explicit goal exists to which problem-solving activities are directed. Third, challenge, something that needs great mental or physical effort in order to be done successfully and therefore test a person's ability. Fourth, performance monitoring involves the measurement of performance over time against indicator of performance or key performance indicators. Fifth, performance feedback refers to the information an employee receives concerning a reader's evaluative judgment of the employee's performance and the way in which the information is communicated. It is necessary that our students accept and own our lesson objectives, and that our lesson objectives must be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, and time-bound. And that's all for Module 20, Theories on Factors Affecting Motivation. I hope you understand and thank you for listening. Riza D. Bulacan, BS Ed English 3A, Prof Ed 5 Facilitated Learner-Centered Teaching. Thank you so much.